All right, y'all. So this is what we're working with. I literally just blow dried my hair. I did blow dry with some leave-in, so I actually used this leave-in cream conditioner from Foxy Bay. This is what she looks like. There we go. So I just used this to blow dry my hair, just so my hair isn't. But anyways, I'm literally just about to brush this up like into a bun. But first, so I'm using Eco Styler. It's the Flexi one, and I'm attempting to get my hair like about there. I think I'm gonna use this headband as a ponytail holder, so we'll do that. For my makeup today, I'm going to be using the Infallible Glow Lock Primer just to give me an overall dewy finish to my look. But in my T-zone, I'm going to be using the Touch and Soul Primer from, actually it's from Touch and Soul. It's called No Problem. It's a smoothing and blurring primer for your pores. So this will help my makeup last longer and reduce oiliness throughout the day. Now I'm going in with my Julep concealer. It's a 5-in-1 correcting concealer. It's with turmeric and everything, so it's really good for dark spots if you have some. So I would recommend getting it. But I'm just placing it all over any dark spots that I need to conceal, so that way you won't see that through my makeup, because I am going for a more like full coverage kind of look. Next, I'm going to do my brows, and I'm using the Benefit Brow. This is the shade 6. I've done a whole brow video before, so I'll link that somewhere in the video so you guys can go ahead and watch it if you want to see how I do my brows. But yeah, I'm just using that today for my brows. It is a pomade, so it's going to give me more of like a bold finish. Now that I've let that concealer sit for a while, I'm going to start blending it out using the It Cosmetics brush. I've used it before in plenty of my tutorials, so I'll just have it linked below in case you're interested in it, but it's one of my fave brushes to blend out my concealer, especially like around the brow area and under my eyes. For foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible. I think it's their 24-hour long wear foundation. I'm in the shade 460. This is one of my fave foundations. It's really nice. It's a nice full coverage foundation. It's actually like more medium to full coverage. You can build it up to how you want it to be, but it's really nice though. Now to actually conceal, I am using the same Julep concealer because it is kind of light. I'm using that for my highlighted areas, but for my chin I'm going to use the Born This Way concealer from Too Faced. I forgot what shade. I'm warm sand, but it's more like my actual skin tone shade versus like a highlighting shade, so that's why I just use it at the bottom of my face versus under my eyes. But I love this concealer too. It's nice and full coverage. I just could never find a shade that was like nice enough. I feel like they all look kind of ashy, but this one's nice. So once again, I'm using one of my staple products. I'm going in with the ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder in the shade Banana under my eyes. to set. I think I'm gonna set on my forehead, down my nose, and probably like my chin area as well. To set all over, I'm going to use the True Match powder, and I think this is W6, so Warm 6. I'm using a fluffy Morphe brush just to tap that in everywhere. It is a little bit darker, so it's going to give me like a nice warm glow to the rest of my face. So for my bronzer, blush, and my highlight, I'm using the Cheek Leaders Bronze Squad palette from Benefit. And I'm taking Hoola Caramel and Hoola to contour, well, to bronze my face. I'm using regular Hoola down the bridge of my nose because it's a little bit lighter, whereas the caramel adds more warmth, and I don't want that to be too dark down the bridge of my nose. Okay, to set all of that in place, I'm using the Anastasia Dewy Set Setting Spray. I love this because it really makes it pop. But my look today is inspired by the Trophy Wife Body Lava packaging. It was so freaking pretty. So I wanted to use that to inspire my look. So I'm using some ColourPop single shadows, a Meech and Mia shadow, a liquid eyeshadow from this brand called Appeal, and also a single eyeshadow from a brand called Marsk. So I'm using all these singles and also the Dose of Color palette. I'm dipping into that light tan shade just as a transition shade first, and then I'm gonna dip into like one of the pink shades in that palette, and I'm going like pretty much right over the transition shade. So I'm taking that ColourPop single shadow, and this is like a hot pink Super Shock shadow from them, and I'm using it like right below my crease, almost kind of in the crease and on the outer V of my eye. Next, going in with that Miche Mia shadow. It's like a really pretty gold shadow, and I'm just putting it in the middle, so it's going to be more like a halo eye effect. And then to make it really pop, I'm going to put a little bit of trophy white on the inner corners. And now I'm just like blending it out using the rest of that pink shadow from the ColourPop single. So on the outer edges of that gold that I placed from the Miche Mia, I'm using a ColourPop single shadow, and that one's also gold, but it's a little bit deeper. So I'm using it as kind of like a transition between the pink and the really bright gold. Lastly, I'm taking this Mask eyeshadow, and it's like a duochrome holographic kind of shadow, and I'm using it as a liner for my eyes. Now I'm just highlighting my brow bone using the same highlighter from the Cheek Leaders palette. And I'm using that Appeal eyeshadow. And it's a liquid eyeshadow and it's a nice gold. So I'm using that in the inner corner as well to make it a little bit brighter. Because the Trophy Wife wasn't as bright as I thought it would be. So I'm using this just to make it pop a little bit more. So originally I used a different lip color, but now I'm just going in with the Ofra long-lasting liquid lipstick, and it's in the shade Verona. And now I'm applying my Trophy Wife Body Bubble all over for a nice dewy glowy look. And I like this one because it looks more like my skin, so it just kind of shimmers off of my skin instead of like adding any kind of color to it. So that is the completed look, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!